There's a buzz in the air, and you can feel it reverberating through every corner of the baseball world because the New York Yankees have officially secured Corbin Witt Jr. as their new shortstop. And trust me, this isn't just another acquisition. This is the kind of move that makes fans jump out of their seats, pundits spill coffee in disbelief, and rivals stare in sheer panic at the looming storm in the American League East. From whispers in scouting reports to the signing that has now become public knowledge, Witt Jr.'s trajectory has been nothing short of electric, a career that seemed to be building quietly under the radar until suddenly he emerges as a potential game-changer. The buzz isn't only about his defensive prowess, his quick reflexes, and the way he reads a play before it even develops, but also about the aura he brings to the team, that intangible mix of talent and charisma that can ignite a clubhouse and intimidate opponents before a pitch is even thrown. Analysts are dissecting his stats obsessively, debating whether his presence can alter the Yankee strategy, and fans are already imagining highlight reels with him diving, catching, and turning impossible double plays, creating moments that could dominate sports networks for weeks, cementing Witt Jr.'s status as the new face of infield dynamism, while also quietly signaling to AL East competitors that their seasons just got exponentially more complicated, more thrilling, and infinitely more nerve-wracking. Every angle of this signing feels monumental, and the chatter online is practically volcanic, suggesting that what we are witnessing might be more than a simple roster upgrade. It might be a seismic shift that redefines the Yankees' infield identity, setting the stage for stories, legends, and controversies that will echo through the league for years. Because Witt Jr. isn't merely a player. He is becoming a phenomenon. And in the ruthless, competitive environment of the AL East, phenomena like him do not go unnoticed, underestimated, or unchallenged. Yet somehow, against all odds, the timing, the fit, and the potential seem almost too perfect, as if the baseball universe itself conspired to place Witt Jr. right where the spotlight can shine brightest, and fans are already lining up mentally, emotionally, and digitally to witness this new chapter unfold. The rumors surrounding Witt Jr.'s signing started months ago, whispers that flickered through front offices, travel diaries, and even casual bar debates among diehard fans who somehow sensed that the young infielder was destined for a spotlight far brighter than his college or minor league stats suggested, because there's an energy around him that refuses to be quantified by mere numbers or scouting grades. It's a presence, a confidence, a subtle defiance that makes you believe, as soon as you see him step onto a diamond, that something remarkable is about to happen. And for the Yankees, timing could not have been more crucial, with the AL East growing fiercer, tougher, and more unpredictable by the season, as powerhouse lineups like the Rays, Blue Jays, and Red Sox constantly recalibrate strategies, lineups, and pitching rotations, looking for any edge to gain the upper hand. And now Witt Jr. enters the equation, a variable that could tilt the balance, change momentum, and redefine the narrative. The social media storm is already intensifying, with highlight reels from his minor league days resurfacing, every defensive play scrutinized, every swing analyzed, and every moment he touches the ball dissected by fans, analysts, and rival coaches alike. Because in a league where one small misstep can shift a division, Witt Jr.'s consistency, agility, and baseball IQ are under microscopes. And the speculation about whether he can maintain this trajectory at Yankee Stadium under the New York pressure is endless. But that's the allure, the tension, the whisper of destiny that surrounds him. It's the storylines people crave, debates that rage late into the night, and the kind of potential that has bookmakers, insiders, and commentators revising predictions, power rankings, and even contract projections, as the energy surrounding his presence becomes almost tangible, like static in the air before a lightning storm. Because if Witt Jr. delivers even half of what the rumors promise, the Yankees shortstop spot won't just be filled. It will be transformed, and the AL East will feel the tremors of his arrival, as rivals nervously plot counter-strategies, wondering if they've underestimated a talent whose rise was always inevitable, yet somehow still shocking in its timing and impact. The excitement, of course, extends beyond the field because in today's era, every signing, every acquisition, every strategic roster adjustment becomes content, becomes conversation, becomes part of the ecosystem where fans live, breathe, and argue. And WITT Jr. is already trending, not just for what he has done, but for what he represents: a new era, a fresh narrative, and a tangible reminder that the Yankees are always in the business of making statements, whether it's through historic contracts, blockbuster trades, or, in this case, a young, electrifying shortstop whose name is poised to dominate highlight reels for the foreseeable future. Inside sources, speaking off the record, suggest that the clubhouse vibe has shifted instantly, that veteran players see in him not just skill, but spark, and that the coaching staff is excited about the long-term potential of integrating him into their infield strategies, because WITT Jr. isn't a one-dimensional asset. He is a multidimensional catalyst, the kind of player who can create momentum on offense, inspire defensive cohesion, and unsettle opponents with his unpredictability, timing, and instinctive reactions. And the Yankees, for all their history and all their storied legacies, may have finally found a shortstop whose impact transcends statistics. Someone who can become a personality, a leader, and a lightning rod for attention in a league where attention is currency, and every headline, highlight, and rumor adds layers to the narrative, making WITT Jr. a central figure not just in the team's plans, but in the broader spectacle of the AL East, where tension, talent, and drama converge every day. And suddenly, baseball feels a little more electric, a little more unpredictable, and infinitely more thrilling with every imagined dive, every projected double play, and every whispered rumor about what he might do next. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Fans, of course, are already projecting, speculating, and spinning scenarios in ways that are almost cinematic, imagining WITT Jr. sliding across the diamond, snagging line drives that defy logic, turning double plays in the blink of an eye, and somehow, even in fantasy sequences, becoming the emotional fulcrum of a Yankees team hungry for dominance. Because in New York, the pressure is relentless. The scrutiny is unyielding, and the expectations are legendary. Yet the chatter suggests that WITT Jr., unlike many before him, might not just survive under this spotlight. He could thrive, turning the constant glare into fuel for his performance. And every rumor, every analysis, and every tweet reinforces the idea that we are witnessing the early stages of a potentially transformative career. Analysts are debating endlessly whether his minor league power translates to Yankee Stadium dimensions, whether his agility can neutralize veteran sluggers in the division, and whether his temperament can withstand the media storm that accompanies every Yankee roster change. Yet for every skeptic, there seems to be an equal, if not louder, chorus of believers who argue that the trajectory of WITT Jr.'s career has been meticulously building toward this moment, that the signing isn't just timely. It's almost cinematic in its narrative arc, suggesting that baseball, for all its statistics, charts, and sabermetrics, still thrives on stories, personalities, and the intangible energy of players who make the game feel alive, unpredictable, and dramatic. Every interaction, every practice session, every informal media snippet is now amplified as fans and insiders attempt to decode his personality, habits, and approach to the game. Because in an era dominated by analysis, data, and endless comparisons, the intangible aura of WITT Jr., his instincts, his confidence, and the sense that something extraordinary is about to unfold, has become the hottest topic, turning speculation into near certainty that the Yankees' shortstop situation has changed, not just on paper, but in the hearts, minds, and imaginations of everyone invested in the AL East drama. And suddenly, a single acquisition feels like a tectonic shift, the kind of move that inspires debate, admiration, and anticipation simultaneously. The ripple effect of WITT Jr.'s arrival in New York extends far beyond the diamond itself. Because in the hyper-connected ecosystem of modern baseball, every acquisition sends shockwave through rival front offices, betting circles, fantasy leagues, and social media timelines, And Witt Jr. has become the epicenter of that storm, a name repeated in discussions, hot takes, and speculative articles with a frequency that borders on obsessive, as analysts break down every swing, every defensive stance, and every subtle movement, searching for hidden potential, clues to longevity, and hints about how he might redefine the Yankees' shortstop position in the years to come. And while some skeptics question whether his transition from minor league star to Yankee icon will be seamless, the buzz, excitement, and sheer volume of conversation suggest that the narrative is already set, that the imagination of fans and media alike has elevated him to a status where even hypothetical scenarios are debated with the intensity of playoff predictions. And in the AL East, where every edge matters, Witt Jr.'s presence is causing ripple effects that range from revised scouting reports to defensive realignments, lineup reconsiderations, and mental recalibrations for opposing hitters, because now every pitch, every ground ball, and every stolen base attempt carries the weight of his potential impact, transforming the perception of the division and amplifying the tension in a league where the margin between dominance and disappointment is razor thin. And suddenly, even casual observers are drawn into a web of speculation, wondering if the Yankees have just secured a player capable of altering not just games, but entire seasons, narratives, and rivalries, because in New York, stories like this do not remain confined to the diamond. They spill into culture, media, and imagination. And Witt Jr. is already occupying that space, commanding attention, inspiring debate, and challenging assumptions about what a shortstop can be in the modern era. The chatter around Witt Jr. isn't just analytical. It's visceral, because fans are projecting themselves into every play, imagining him sprinting across the infield, diving to snag line drives, flipping the ball with pinpoint precision, and somehow, even in fantasy projections, becoming a symbol of renewal for a Yankees team hungry for dominance. And that energy, that buzz, has created a sense of inevitability, as if his rise was preordained, a story written in whispers long before the contract was signed. And now, with every report, every tweet, every highlight clip resurfacing, the excitement has metastasized, feeding itself, amplifying discussions in forums, sports bars, and comment sections where fans dissect his minor league performances, highlight reels, and defensive metrics with obsessive intensity, because everyone wants to predict not just his immediate impact, but his long-term influence on the AL East, where every team must now recalibrate strategies, rethink pitching, matchups, and anticipate the ways in which Witt Jr.'s presence could tilt momentum, change scoring patterns, and transform games into psychological battles where the mental edge is as important as physical ability. And while skepticism persists about the transition to Yankee Stadium, the overarching narrative is dominated by speculation, hope, and fascination, as in closely as performance. And insiders hint that Witt Jr. carries not only the talent, but also the confidence, maturity, and presence to influence team culture in ways that extend beyond the field, subtly energizing teammates, challenging veterans, and creating an atmosphere where the blend of youth, skill, and charisma becomes a strategic advantage. And while these are whispers, they are amplified by the social media ecosystem, where every quote, every observation, and every secondhand report is transformed into trending content, debate fodder, and fan excitement, creating a feedback loop that magnifies both perception and expectation. And in the AL East, where rivalries are heated, matchups are scrutinized, and the margin for error is vanishingly thin, Witt Jr.'s multifaceted role as performer, motivator, and symbol of potential impact adds another dimension to the Yankees' competitive strategy, forcing opposing coaches, analysts, and players to consider not just his stats, but his presence, his instincts, and the energy he brings into every game. And this ripple effect, fueled by rumor and anticipation, ensures that every opponent entering Yankee Stadium, every lineup card, and every tactical decision is now subtly influenced by the knowledge that a dynamic, potentially transformative shortstop has arrived, capable of creating momentum, inspiring performance, and rewriting narratives at a moment's notice. and as fans speculate endlessly. The collective imagination of baseball audiences positions Witt Jr. not merely as a player, but as a living, breathing variable that could redefine the course of the AL East for years to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.